getting to see. There's a huge movement. The movement can be seen. The seer will be brought out. So you can see the visuals, the clear visuals that we are bringing to you exclusively on CNN News 18 screen, where the seer is being taken into the vehicle, police vehicle, to be presented in front of the court, as he is the A1 accused in this whole in the whole case of that FIR that was been registered against him, and it's been 6 days that an FIR was been registered. And in the visuals you can see now he's been taken in towards the court. He will be presented over there because the court has asked the police that how can you ask for police custody without even informing the court that his health is deteriorating, his condition and is not fine, without informing court who gives a right him to be taken to the hospital. So that's the kind of a question that is being raised by the judge. Now in the visuals you can see the movement of this vehicle. Now he's been taken towards to the court. So these are the visuals that we are bringing to you of a seer. Now he'll be produced in front of the court, as a court had asked him to be produced, because that's what the law says. So these are the visuals that CNN News 18 is bringing to you. The vehicle is moved towards the court. So almost 500 meters away from here is where the court is. So he will be presented over there. So right there you see the condition of the seer was being told that.
So as Ritu is pointing out, and we showed
the visual that the people are all pointing.
Go ahead.
The visuals, there's a huge gathering of the people. There's a huge gathering over here. You see there was a lot of pressure that was been tried mounting as well the other day. So this is the crowd that we're getting to see in front of the hospital, where they have all gathered in a huge number to see the seer. So since morning, this is the crowd that we're getting to see from the hospital side. Now the police is also moving in towards the court side for the security to be in place, because now the A1 accused in this whole case will be produced in front of the court for the police custody that the police had asked for. So these are the visuals that we are bringing to you from Chitradurga Government Hospital. So he has been moved towards the court. He will be presented over there. He had complained about his health issues. With all that critical condition, court did not compromise on it. As per the law, he will have to abide by the law, and he will have to be presented in front of the court.
So as Ritu is pointing out, we showed you those visuals of the Lingayat seer being moved from the hospital to the court, which is at a distance of about 500 meters, as Ritu was pointing out. Despite all the tricks that are being adopted by the legal team to try and keep the seer out of jail and for law to not take its own course, the court did not budge and compromise. They've also raised questions as to how the seer was even moved to the hospital in the first place without the judge's knowledge. And now he will be produced before the court, and we'll have to see where it goes from then on. Ritu, this is exactly what I want. Okay, I'll just go back to Ritu in just a bit. Harish is also tracking all these developments for us. Harish, at least now the question is being raised, despite all the delays that have already happened, despite the political pressure on this investigation, now that he's been arrested, will law take its own course?
Yes, we'll come to that in a bit, but look at the visuals right now. The court has really called out the bluff here. The doctor's team that came out said that the seer had possibly had a cardiac arrest, cardiac attack, and they also said that he was in a serious condition. Look at the visuals out there. He seems to be absolutely fine, not even an oxygen mask, no other monitoring device in that van. He's gone and he's slept on the bed as anyone else would, and he's being taken to the court right now. And this in a way shows what exactly was happening for the last 4 hours or so. The medical team claiming that he might have suffered a cardiac attack and he's in a serious condition. He's in the ICU. Well, look at those visuals. He doesn't look like someone who would perhaps who has perhaps walked out of the ICU and is in a serious condition. And this is one of the reasons why the court came down heavily on the investigating team, saying, how did you move him to a hospital without informing the court? How is it that now efforts are being made to airlift him to Bengaluru? And they insisted that he be produced before the court. There is no question of a video conference or his lawyers team arguing. The court made it very clear that he should be produced before the magistrate. There is no other option. And finally, you see him getting into that van and heading towards the court. This is something that looks pre-planned. Remember, just minutes after his arrest last night, his team came out and said he was unwell. There's a possibility that his BP might fluctuate. In fact, they said he might experience some sort of breathlessness. And this morning he walks into this hospital, and later on you had a bunch of doctors coming out and saying that his health has deteriorated to a large extent and he's in a serious condition. But both times you've had the Swamiji walking out and seems to be fine, no oxygen, no other monitoring device.
So that's a crucial point that you're making, Harish, that considering the fact, and I agree with you, considering the fact that the seer walked into the hospital this morning, and even now when he left the hospital premises, he actually walked into that police van or bus on his own, which also raises question as far as the aid that the hospital and the surgeons and the doctors are still trying to give the seer.
Yes, it's a clear case of a powerful man enjoying clout in that district, using it for his advantage. Remember, the doctor came out on record. He said he suffered a cardiac attack. He did not mention what has changed. Remember, there were a set of medical tests that happened at 2 in the morning, nothing indicating that here is a man whose health is deteriorating. It's only later on in the morning that he says he's experiencing some sort of a discomfort in his chest. He's rushed to the hospital there. After that, the story starts. There is also a larger point here. Remember, this man is arrested. Still, he enjoys the clout that he can change the machinery there at the district health hospital to give statements in his benefit, prepare ground for his medical evacuation from Chitradurga to Bengaluru. Imagine the kind of pressure he would put on either the victims, the eyewitness, or the investigating officer. This is one of the prime reasons why many people now are saying that there should be a High Court monitored probe. In fact, Veerappa Moily, who spoke to us a while ago, said, well, High Court monitored probe won't be enough. There should be a Supreme Court monitored probe, because the kind of clout that this man has, he can go to any extent to cover up, and we've already given him 7 days to do that.
Okay, so Harish, I also now want to understand, after he is going to be produced in court, what happens from there on? What is going to be the last-ditch effort of the legal team? What are the options with the legal team of this year? Well,
the legal team most probably will now say that his health condition is not great. He should be given a bail on that context, and also they will say that he surrendered before the police and he's not a flight risk. He will cooperate with the investigating officer. That is likely to be the argument. The police will seek his custody. Despite his arrest, one thing that we will have to highlight here is that this man, the prime accused in this rape case, hasn't been interrogated so far. It's 7 days. The FIR was lodged at 10:30 last Friday, and it's a good 1 week since then. He hasn't been questioned so far. That has to happen. Then the process of gathering forensic evidence has to happen, then corroborate it with whatever has been gathered in the Mahajar process as well. And also the accused number 2, Rashmi, has been arrested. She has been questioned since yesterday. The information that would have come from her has also need to be checked with the Swamiji, corroborated with that. So there is a lot of process in terms of investigation left, and the police have to do that. For that, they will need his custody. They will seek his police custody. The question is on whether the court will buy the argument that his health is deteriorating and he needs medical attention. But going by what's happened in the last 2 hours, doesn't look like the court is convinced.
It looks unlikely that this medical card will in fact play.
Harish,